I'm doing okay. What happened?
Well, if you look at the exit polls, basically Obama kept the coalition that he had in 2008.
Right.
Only it was a little bit smaller. This will be the first president reelected, sent to a second term, with a smaller percentage of the vote than he got in the first term. In fact, there are only two states in the Union where he got a higher percentage of the vote this time around than he got the first time. One is Mississippi by 1/4%,
right,
and Hawaii by less than 1/5 of 1%. But otherwise, he basically held together that coalition, which means if we're going to win in the future, Republicans need to do better among Latinos, and they need to do better among women, particularly single women.
Well, let's start with the Latino, the Hispanic vote. Boss George W. Bush years ago tried to fix that.
Right. Well,
and he was repudiated by his own party.
Well, no. He was not repudiated by his own party. He was flummoxed by the action of the Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, who blocked his bill, and by the vote of the freshman senator from Illinois, who, after pledging support for comprehensive immigration reform, voted for all the killer amendments sponsored by the labor union. So that was Barack Obama.
Well, wouldn't you say that the
Republican Party had better pay attention to the Latino vote and get active? Look, last night we had in my home state of Texas, we elected a Latino Republican United States Senator. We unfortunately lost one of our two Latino Republican members of the House of Representatives from Texas. But we've got to pay attention both to Latinos and also, look, we have an opportunity among young people. The millennials last night gave their votes to President Obama, but by a 23-point margin opposed to a 34% margin 4 years ago. And we can make the case, and we better be making the case to younger voters that the party they ought to associate themselves with is the party of choice and markets and liberty.
And what about women? So many women, single women in particular, went to the President of the United States. A lot of them had seen those ads. They'd heard pundits on television. They knew that if he was elected, Mitt Romney was going to take away their contraception.
Well, look, this was a defensive measure on the president's part. Let's not kid ourselves either. He lost support among single women. He dropped 3 points. But that's not enough when you're starting with 70 and ending up with 67. Look, I think there's something else hidden in here. The Republicans, on the issue of the economy, 51% of the American people said the issue of the economy was 59% said it was their number one issue.
Okay.
They broke for Mitt Romney 51-47. We need to do a better job of making our economic case. That number should have been and could have been larger. Now, one of the reasons it was not was this was not a strategic race. It was a tactical race. This thing was one. Think about this. Strong leader. Who do you, Romney or Obama? 61% of those who felt that Mitt Romney was a strong leader picked him over Obama. Shares my values, 55-42. Has a vision for the future, 54-45. Cares about people like me, 81 for Obama, 18 for Romney. They had disqualified him in many people's minds as being a rich guy who didn't care about him.
Well, they spent those hundreds of millions of dollars, and Mr. Romney did not really respond to them for the longest time, and that's probably a major problem. Hindsight's always 20/20. Karl, okay, you've talked about some things that the Republican Party has got to deal with going forward: Hispanics, women, other demographic groups. But what about the party itself? Any changes with the party itself?
Well, look, we have to do a better job of making our case about the economy. For the foreseeable future, anemic growth and high unemployment are going to be the case. In the midterm, we're going to have in the coming years, we're going to have a fiscal crisis. The amount of debt that we're growing is just simply unsustainable, and we need to make a better, stronger case on the economy and on the necessary reforms to put our fiscal house in order.
Did you get any sleep last night?
None at all, because I was prepping for this morning. I tried to find a table that I could slip under for a few moments, but no, between you and the Wall Street Journal column I got to turn in today, no time at all.